your co-host if you wanted to take the screen over. Otherwise, I can go into the slides that I have of yours.
Whichever is easier for you. We don't use, our organization uses a different platform, so I've zoomed a little bit, but not a ton.
Okay, I can just, here, let's go. Whoops, did you want me?
Sorry, it's going crazy apparently.
Yeah, no, I'll come back to the videos after.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for letting me be here today with you. You guys have been great. And my name is Sam, and I am one of the recruiters at MIDCO. And MIDCO, for those of you that are not familiar with us, we are a technology company, and we provide the traditional ISP products, so high-speed internet, phone service, and as well as TV. Those are our core business products, and then we have residential services, business services, et cetera. And so I'm excited to talk to you and give you a little bit of information about MIDCO today. Excuse me, and the positions that we have open. We have internship positions, but we're also growing really significantly in Minnesota. So we do have full-time opportunities as well. And we have services all throughout Minnesota, but we specifically have a lot of growth that we know for the next several years, which we're calling central Minnesota, so north of Minneapolis as well. And so MIDCO, we're a 90-year-old company. We started in theater, which a lot of people don't know necessarily. Then we went into radio, then to cable, and satellite. We owned a news station at one point. And so MIDCO has been kind of a chameleon, and the internet and tech space has really been where is our bread and butter. And it's definitely evolved over our tenure. And as I mentioned, we provide residential and business services. So residential, we've got the high-speed internet, and as well as TV and phone, and business services. In addition to those, we also have enterprise networking, data center, we have advertising, we have multi-dwelling services. So if an apartment building or like a nursing home even, or any building that wants to build in our services or offer them to their residents, we have that option as well. And we're doing some really cool stuff with technology as far as bringing connectivity to rural communities with fixed wireless in the business space as well as on the residential side. So some of our more remote markets in North Dakota, Minnesota, we are building towers, and we're continuing to be able to offer that service where historically those folks haven't been able to get good internet connection. And MIDCO is a privately held organization, and here's just a little bit about our vision, our mission, and our core value. And with that, our core value really speaks to me. It's really the golden rule, treating others how you want to be treated. And I feel like that goes a long way. It's easy to forget those things and just continue on with business. And it's truly a great organization where they genuinely care. And MIDCO works hard to be involved in all of the communities that we support, and in addition to helping our team members reach their goals and really progress their careers and have a really fulfilling experience. And our bread and butter is fiber, specifically fiber internet, where we put it into the ground, and then we own that. And we have over 10,000 network miles. And we have basically anywhere on the blue lines you can see, that's where we have fiber in the ground. And we're continuing to build. That's what we're building into Minnesota and in other parts of our footprint. And that allows us to offer that service. And as an organization, we own the fiber, so then it's always going to be ours. We can control more of the services, the speed, things like that through actually having the physical fiber in the ground. And we serve customers in Kansas, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and a little bit into Wisconsin over the border. And we have 440,000 customers, business and residential combined, and we're in 400 communities. Fixed wireless, I touched on a little bit. That is that rural internet connectivity. And we are able to offer gig services now, and we will be able to offer 10G by 2025, so super fast. you'll never have any spinning or any blips or anything like that in your services, which is definitely part of our everyday life now. And as we all know, especially over the last year, we've been using it more now than ever to be able to work from home, go to school from home, just continue to have life and continue to do the things that we need to do. And we're considered an essential business as well, like a utility company, so like gas, power, water. And so some great reasons that MIDCO is a great place to work. The culture is amazing, bar none. The technology industry will continue to be expanding and growing. We're a very forward-thinking organization overall. Definitely innovation is one of those things that we work really hard to continue to evolve and change with the technology and advance our technology. We're community-centric, and so volunteering and really being impactful. And over the last year, more so than volunteering, it's been staying away and doing more financial giving to like food banks, places that have been impacted with businesses being closed or things like that. And then it's also it's a great, fun, familial environment where we want you to have an enriching experience and enjoy what you do and really build those solid relationships. And I'm going to talk really briefly today about two different opportunities. Field tech careers, that is, our technicians are the ones that are going into the premises, whether it be residential or businesses, and installing and troubleshooting all of our services. And they're the ones that are, if you have issues, you can't get your stuff going, they're going to go out there. And it's a really hands-on position with great career advancement potential where you can work hands-on, especially as we continue to grow. There's great career pathing and great opportunities to really advance your skill set overall and be part of a growing organization that will continue to be expanding in Minnesota. And we are hiring in various places in Minnesota, specifically in our what we call Central Minnesota. We are offering a $2,500 sign-on bonus for our tech positions. It's a full-time regular position, and if students wanted to attend while going to school online, et cetera, by all means. But we also have great career progression. And so as you can see in the visual, we have 5 levels of field technician, and you do, it's all self-paced, and every time you hit one of those milestones, you'll get a bump in title, pay, and so you can really control your destiny. And then work hands-on, in addition to being able to work with, like I said, that really cool emerging tech and have a great impact on our customers, since our field techs really are the face of MIDCO overall. And then secondly, we also have internships. We were able to make virtual internships work last year when COVID kind of threw a monkey wrench in the whole world. And so we've got it down pat now, and we are offering internships this year as well. And with that, all of our internships are actual business needs. They're real business projects that you're going to be working on. We pay all of our interns, and they'll all be virtual again this year with COVID and everything like that. You get free services, but additionally, you get that business acumen. You get to network with people in our industry, volunteer. We have a dedicated mentor, and then it's a very structured program in the fact that there's a beginning, a middle, and end. There's different sessions as far as resume writing, interviewing, meeting leaders, and a whole variety of things. So it's a very robust program to really set you up for success. And then it also allows those great opportunities, whether it be full-time employment, returning internships, et cetera. And our internships really span our whole enterprise. And so it's all different types of positions outside of field ops. We also have marketing. We have a finance intern this year. We've got a good variety there as well. And if you're interested in, in hearing more about MIDCO, we're a great organization. And you can see all of our positions, whether it be field ops specific or internships, on our website. And there's really great information online. There's so much information on our website. I couldn't possibly begin to share all of it. But you can see all of that online on our website, midco.com, and career specifically /careers. But there's a ton of information about our intern program, as well as, like I said, field ops and everything else in between. And if anyone has questions or would like to reach out, this is the best way to reach us. That's our general recruiter our recruiter email, which somebody mans every day. And I would be happy to answer any questions. And I know there's a couple of videos there. I think they're both about 3 minutes each, if time permits.
Just a good question on how long does it take to approve an internship or get going once we apply? What's that application process look like, Sam?
Sure, that's a great question. And so with our positions, they're all posted now, and typically we are interviewing within typically 1 to 2 weeks. And the first round you'll visit with a recruiter, and then our finalists will video interview with the hiring manager specifically for the internship position. And for those interns that are selected, we are slating those to start the first week of June. And then our internships, they're typically 8 to 12 weeks. We're starting the first week of June, and then the intern presentations, which are a culmination of the projects you worked on, what you learned, those are slated for the end of July. And then your end date will be determined after that with partnering with your manager. The timeline, like I said, you can expect to hear from us usually within a week or two, and then we'll be continuing that process as timely as we can. COVID and the whole new virtual dynamic has definitely changed things for us, so we're adapting and growing and continuing to evolve as everything has kind of unwrapped further and developed.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Another question, oh yeah, I'm unmuted. You mentioned central Minnesota. Are there specific communities, or what is kind of the regional span for those internships and jobs, Sam?
Sure. Internships, those are virtual, so they can be located anywhere. With that, you need to be able to go to a MIDCO location to be able to pick up your equipment on day one. And so we have an office we have a brick and mortar in Minneapolis, and we also have Minnesota locations throughout the state. And then we have we're headquartered in Sioux Falls. And so we would basically coordinate equipment out of one of our actual physical locations. And our positions and MIDCO as a whole, let me pull up our Minnesota map specifically. And so bear with me just 1 second here. Okay, so this is Minnesota and the service areas that we have. We have a lot of services, and I can send these maps over, but a lot of our services, so what we consider central Minnesota is right in this area in the middle. And so it's north of Minneapolis. And so we have a lot of services. We've got a pretty large office in Cambridge, Minnesota. And we go basically as far south as Marine on St. Croix, as far as southeast, and southwest for what we consider central Minnesota would be like a Richmond or a Cold Spring. And I know it gets a little bit blurry when I zap it, but then, so this is what we would consider central Minnesota, right in the middle here. We also have services in other areas. So we've got services super far north in I Falls and Ely. We have services in Bemidji, Fargo-Moorhead, the central Minnesota, as well as Canby area. We go into Ellsworth, Wisconsin. This is where we get over kind of across the border. And we also have services Fairmont area. So this is Minnesota as a whole for our services. Our footprint is pretty expansive outside of Minnesota as well, since it does include South Dakota, North Dakota, and then we have services outside of Kansas City, Kansas, in the Lawrence area. And so I will stop sharing my screen. And I can send these maps over as well, just because I'm definitely a visual person, so it helps me to have kind of a picture of what I'm looking at. And with the field tech positions specifically, we've got several open at this point, and we have been really expanding. We're building this year again in what we consider central Minnesota, so north of the cities. And we built last year in the Princeton-Zimmerman area, if anybody's from that area, and we'll continue to build over more on the Becker-St. Joe side this year.
Awesome.
Hi, Sam. It's Kara from North
Hi.
Forest. I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
What is the typical background or area of study or focus for the interns that you typically get?
We have a wide variety, and so ideally we're typically targeting junior or seniors if possible. But our internships this year, so we have one finance position, we have a digital marketing internship, which is focusing on social media. We have a corporate communications internship, which is going to be a writing position. We also have a training position that's going to be working with our operations training group. So they're I believe they're calling it adaptive learning. So they're doing module-based learning. That's really the name of the game now for training. And additionally, we also have, let me pull up our list here. I'm sorry, I'm floundering a little bit. I should know these off the top of my head, but of course it's going to fail me at the moment. And then additional internships that we have for this year. We have 8 interns this year. And we also have a strategic sourcing intern. So that's going to be in our supply chain. We have a sales internship, which is going to be working with what we refer to as MIDCO properties. So that's anything in the multi-dwelling unit or any kind of enterprise level. We will have a PM, a project manager intern as well. And I believe, and then we will also have a sales or a solutions engineering internship, which is working more with that technical side of engineering for sales, supporting them for what we've sold for on more of our business services side.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that information. And we will be sending out the links to, well, all of this and including the videos that
Perfect. That
did
sounds
not
great.
want to play.
They didn't play nice today, so thank you.
As usual. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, Sam, feel free to stick around if you if you want to. But otherwise, we're just going to dive into our curriculum for today.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.